right, so this is a game I saw this an ad for on Facebook, and just the way it looked, I was intrigued. So I looked it up, and it's called Opus Magnum. And what I'm planning to do right now is just record myself my first hour of gameplay. All I've done is set up the settings. I've got a 4K monitor, and its default was to have it in 4K, which was gorgeous, but I think it made a lot of the things unreadable when it gets downsized to 720. So right now I've got it at 1080, stretched to fill the monitor, and I think that'll be just fine for readability when it downsizes to 720 for Twitch if I put it on there. But if nothing else, we'll stick it up on YouTube. So without further ado, let's get into this. We're gonna put a timer on and see what this game's about. It should reset there to an hour, and here we go. Transmutation lab rules. Transmutation lab rules. Access is restricted to graduate level alchemical engineering students and faculty only. Any exceptions must be approved by the Chancellor. Keep your student alchemist permit and sigil with you at all times while in the lab. No food or drinks is permitted in the lab. Do not sit on or lean on transmutation engines or the related components. Please keep the area clean for everyone else. That means you, Anatius. Alright. Lesson. Introduction. I'm amazed you put off learning how to use the transmutation engine for this long. So I'm apparently Anatius. I was concentrating on working by hand. You know that. Anatius, we're about to graduate. I know, that's why I need you to summarize all this for me as fast as you can. Solve this puzzle to continue. Okay. Is that what I open? Alright. These are reagents. They are the input materials for doing alchemy. So I guess that's these here. No, that's the piston arm, but in there we go. Reagent, elemental fire, elemental fire. This is the product. Your job as an alchemist is to build machines that combine reagents into useful products. To complete a puzzle, build all products. Press the play button below to start the transmutation engine. So that's that. Huh. Now it's speeding up. This is the instruction tray. Instructions tell machine parts what to do. So our machine has successfully created the desired product. Histograms and leaderboards are not available for tutorial puzzles. Okay. Understand so far? Maybe. Let's open that again. I just want to have a look at the way. So this is making them, dropping them here. I think. Drops it. Oh, it drops it to the second one. Drops it to the first one. Then it combines it over there. Look at that. So it's the same motion. As it passes over, it combines it. I think this thing, I'm not sure what that is. Oh, I guess we only have one choice. Open again. I just want to see one thing. What glyph of calcification? The glyph of calcification transmutes any of the 4 cardinal elements, air, fire, water, and earth, into neutral salt, which is what that part is. Product laboratory burner fuel. That's the thing that we're making. So this is all seen as one element or one thing. All right. Understand so far? Of course. I knew this part was easy. That's why I never worried about it. I count you as a friend, Anatius, but sometimes you carry your genius alchemist to act a little too far. Act? Alright. Arms. So let's take the first most important part, the arm. I understand. What's next? Wait, don't rush ahead. Let me go through the material. You need to see this. Solve the puzzle to continue. Place an arm below, setting the rotation and length so that the gripper is over the reagent. Then add instructions to the instructions tray below to make it pick up the reagent and move it to the product output. Okay. So, what are we wanting to output? What's our product? Setting the road. Place
an arm below, setting the rotation. Oh, okay, so we're going from here to here. I see. So we okay. Whoops. Control Z. Does that do anything? Where? Oh, okay, that's where I grab it. Is here. So then I grab it here. Grab it here. And then, so for 3, we want to rotate clockwise 3. Oh, except, oh, we need to grab. So we need grab first. Nice, it inserts. And then we need to release. And then we might as well, since for this one it's the same distance, might as well just keep going clockwise. Oh, and I can just click. I don't have, no. Maybe, hold on. Okay, so I still have to click them into place. Alright, so that's the instructions for that one. I think if we play now, now if we wanted to make it more efficient, I think let's try something else. The other thing we could do would be to make it so they all have the same number of steps, and so then number 1 and number 2 keep going. So number 1, interesting. Okay, so can I copy? It doesn't look like it. So if I go F, oh look at that, I can't edit. I can only edit that line. Gotcha. All right. Well, we don't need to make it more efficient then. All right. Right, new controller behavior with instructions. Yes, of course. Of course. All right, so we're done arms. Pivots. In some case, you want an arm to rotate what it's gripping. You mean as opposed to the arm itself rotating. Rotate. Oh, okay, fair enough. That's right. In those cases, use pivot instructions. All right. So place an arm below, then add instructions to make it pick up the reagent and move it to the product output. So we already have a set of instructions for number 1. We're going to create instructions. It's showing us where to put it. And we're going to start it here. And we need to grip it. So grip, rotate left 1, because we're going through an arc of, we've got 6 stops, and so we're going 1 stop, and that brings it here. Now that's going to have it so it's pointing up in this direction. We need to rotate it clockwise, so that's going to be E, pivot. Okay, so E, and then drop, and then rotate back clockwise. Oh, what happened there? Oh, I didn't. We're moving it, need to rotate it. I need to drop it in here. And then rotate it back clockwise. So that should work. If we hit play, that should, which as it turns out is the exact same thing that they did in their set. But let's play. That's exactly what we need to do. Return to menu. Cool. All very, I'm such a snob. All very straightforward and simple. How nice that this is so easy for you. Why? How long did it take you to learn all this? Let's just keep going. Let's lesson. Pistons. A piston arm is a special kind of arm that can extend and retract. And presumably there are instructions that control the piston. That's right, I will demonstrate. So, place the piston arm below, then add instructions to make it pick up the reagent and move it to the product output. So we're picking it up here. So we have instructions for 1 and 2. 1 is picking this one up and depositing it here. 2 is picking it up here, depositing here. And 3, the one that we're about to place, is going to pick up, whoops, there we go, pick up this one. And now we want to rotate 2 stops. So first of all, we want to grab, and then we want to rotate clockwise, or counterclockwise, Widdershins, twice. And then while we're doing that, we want to shorten our arm. So that looks like it's S. Retract, yep. So we're going to retract 1 and then release. Oh, what is C? Reset instructions. Interesting. Does it return to its normal place when we do that? Oh. Reset instructions will make an arm drop any held atom to reset to its initial rotation, length, and position. In this lesson, the drop instruction is disabled. You must use reset instruction instead. Oh, interesting. Okay, so I think now would be the time that we use that. Let's try playing and see what happens, or stepping through it. I think that's what this button does. Tab. Everybody grabs. Everybody moves. All right, yep, that definitely works. That's really cool. Huh. So, something I'm seeing here is a cost. I'm guessing that piston arms, while they're more versatile, probably cost more than a regular arm. I see piston arms can reach areas you can't with a normal arm. That's what makes them so useful. They cost, oh, there you go, exactly what I just said. They cost a little more than regular arms, though. So if we're trying to be cost effective, we would just not use a piston arm. And I can use the reset instruction to make the arm return to its initial state from wherever it is. That's convenient. Just remember, the reset instruction takes the same amount of time it would take to issue those individual. That's good to know. I think that's what was indicated by that arrow after the reset instruction. Huh. So it might be more cost or more time effective for some instructions to, instead of using that, finish the arc of a circle, depending on, maybe not. No, I don't think so. Of course. Return to menu. Tracks. What's next? Next we have tracks, which are like paths you can place on the board. It's easier to show you. Alright. Create a track between the reagent and the product. Then place an arm on the track and add instructions to make it pick up the reagent and move it to the product output. Okay. Oh, interesting. Okay, so we already have instructions for 1 and 2. We're going to place our track first. Would I just... No. So I would actually drag it. Okay. That's kind of cool. Can we... I think that's what we're going to want to do, because then we don't have to rotate. Although, if it can rotate at the same time, how do these instructions work? Grab, move, reset. So, So none of them are rotating. So something we could do too is, instead of doing those 2 extra steps, just rotate once. So I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to put this on here, and now we're going to, I guess, put our starting position. There's our starting position. We're going to grab, and then we're going to move the arm on the track, so that's G. That's 2 spots. And then we're going to rotate 2. Actually, okay, so I'm an idiot. We're rotating 2 instead of moving 2. If I could get it to rotate the same time that it slides, that would be cool. I don't think I can, though. I think it's only a single instruction at a time. Oh well, we're doing it differently than what the instructions have. So we're being individual. And then reset instructions. Let's hit play and see what happens. So let's see there. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, which is the amount of time it takes. That is cool. Let's hit play, see what happens. Yep. Ha. That's cool. I see. When you place an arm on a track, the arm can move forward or backward along the path. Tracks can be quite powerful, but I'm still learning how to use them effectively in my designs. Could you put multiple arms onto a single track? That's a good question. I think so. I never thought to try that. I'll have to experiment later. Return to menu. Probably you'd want to make sure that they always go the same direction. If you had a circular track, maybe. Lesson, transmutation. To perform transmutations, we use glyphs. For example, say I want to calcify an element. I think that's what we saw when we hovered, so I think that's going to be turning it into a salt. You'd place a glyph of calcification on the board and move the element you want to calcify over it. Anateus. I mean, yes, that's correct, but at least let me get through the explanation first. I got all the explanation I need. My God, we're a prick. So, use a piston arm and a glyph of calcification to turn the reagent, fire atom, into the product, a salt atom, and move it to the product output. So, can we place it in a place that is not where they say? We can. Okay, well now we're cooking with gas. I'm going to put you here, and for 2, we're going to grab, which is F, right? Yeah. Grab, and then rotate once. Oh, I can't do it there. Oh, interesting. Because this doesn't actually hit that with its arc. Oh, look at that. So that should work. So grab, rotate left, shorten the piston arm, and then reset. That should do it. Huh. So ideally, to save yourself a movement, you'd want to be able to have them equidistant, or somehow have the... Yeah, okay. It's quite fast, this glyph. Yes, welcome to modern alchemical engineering. How many transmutations are available as glyphs? Most of the common ones so far. There's ongoing research to develop more, which you would know about if you paid any attention to recent developments in your field. Okay, so it sounds like we're going to unlock things as we progress. Lesson, bonding. This must be the glyph of bonding. It is. To use it, actually, why don't you show me how it works? Seems that's the way things are going here. Very well. So, use 2 arms in the glyph of bonding to bond the 2 salt atoms together and move them to the product output. Okay, so now can I move? I cannot move elements that are stuck. Okay. So this is the one that's going to do all the moving. This one is just going to move the single one. So step one for okay, so for both of them we want to grab. So F, F. So they both grab there. Now number 3, we want to rotate Widdershins. Number 4, we want to rotate clockwise. Then we want 4 to release. So that is R. And when that releases, we want 3 can either pivot. Why don't we do that? Let's pivot before we put it in place. We're going to pivot clockwise. And then we're going to rotate counterclockwise, or Widdershins again. And then release. And then for both of them, let's see what happens. See if I broke it or not. That works. Okay. I just want to see, is there a way I could have done that without that rotation? I don't think so. Because no, I placed the arms, didn't I? I did place the arms. Could I have? But I don't have pistons. No, and since I'm on a rotation, I do have to pivot. If I can change my output, that would be nice, but I don't think that's something that I can do at this point. I think at some point we're going to be placing all the components, but right now we're not. The transmutation engine makes alchemical engineering far simpler. You could have been using it the whole time. But I'm glad I did things the hard way for so long. I hope you're not like this in real life, Anateus. But this is real life. Alright, that's bonding. One more. Stabilized water. I think that's everything you need to know to use the transmutation engine effectively. I'll make one more product to make sure I get it. Alright. I think it looks like I get to do everything. So panning and scrolling, the building area parts trays and instruction trays are all panned by right-clicking anywhere within them and dragging your mouse. If you have a mouse with a scroll wheel, you can always use that. Also use that to vertically scroll through the parts and instruction trays. Okay, so that's me using a mouse wheel. So this is what we're creating so we would want a transmutation, I think that's this one, and we want, I guess this would be where we put the reagent, would be here. So now this is going to travel over, become that. Now we need to join it together. So maybe we go like that, and we put glyph of bonding here and drag it around. And okay, so I need an arm. And it's gonna, whoops. Arm is gonna start here. Grab it. So I need a second arm. I think. Yeah, we do need a second arm. That is going to start here where we have our other reagent. And I think we're ready for instructions. So arm 1 is going to grab and arm 2 is going to grab. Might as well put them both in there. Arm 1 is going to rotate Widdershins. So A3, and then I should be able to just release or reset. What is V? Repeat instructions. Oh, I like that. And 2 is going to simply grab, which we've done, rotate clockwise, and then release or reset, I guess. Let's try that. I think that'll do it. Oh, look at that. I didn't know that. Atoms and arm bases may not collide. So much for saving time. Okay, well that's easy enough. We simply change our instructions. Instead of Widdershins, we go clockwise. Alright, let's try that again. Look at us. Making moves. So, okay, so our area is definitely better than average. I'm not sure. It'd be nice. Okay, so our cost was not quite the cheapest. There's a cheaper way to do it. Okay, I can acknowledge that I'm got ways to go. Cycles. So that's the number of steps, I think, total to get our total number of steps for each product times by the number of products would give us our number of cycles. And then for area, we did better than average. And I think it would probably be pretty difficult to have a machine that hit all 3 of those in the same time. I'm guessing if we want to like hit the best, like the most cost effective, then it would look different than the machine that would hit the smallest number of cycles. Or because I think for cycles we could probably do that much quicker by changing the way that the arms and that are all located. Anyway, let's keep going. So what are your plans after you graduate? I think I'll be a head alchemist for one of the august houses. That's bold, right out of school? Why not? True enough, no ambition could be too great for you. A little tongue in the cheek. And yourself. I like it here. I think I'll stick around and hopefully become a professor. You do seem to have an affinity for teaching. Think so? Well then, may each of us realize his Opus Magnum. Opus Magnum. I've always found that to be a rather pretentious term. Speaking of pretentious. But I agree with the sentiment, at least. Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? Anateas Vaya. Found something pretentious? Tell me more. Okay, that is awesome. Good writing. Letter of congratulation. Imperial University College of Alchemical Engineering. Dear Anateas, congratulations on your appointment to the position of head alchemist of the House Van Tassen. I'm very pleased to see you find a position in line with your talent and abilities. As you prepare to leave the academic life, I want to offer a word of advice. The politics of the city are much harsher and more dangerous than those of the academy. You are a singularly gifted talent, and I would hate to see you get caught up in these conflicts. The alchemist's place is not to sink to the level of those around us, but to rise above them in service of our art. Best of luck to you. Nadine Ptolomeo, Professor and Chair, College of Alchemical Engineering, Imperial University. Van Tassen's new alchemist. So how did it go? Concordia Lem, so that's a new character. A nightmare. Armin kept going through these old stories about honor and righteousness. The Lady Van Tassen looks like she's embalmed. Frederick spilled food down the front of his shirt. What a brave man you are, surviving a formal dinner. It really is difficult, though. I can't stand the stuffiness. Armand didn't remember my name. Captain Gelt had to prompt him several times. To be fair, you started only rather recently. Yes, I suppose it's too much to ask. Such a complicated, burdensome thing to remember one single name, the name of your new alchemist. The one who graduated at the top of his class from the College of Alchemical Engineering. I am so conceited. Anateas. See, you remember my name just fine. Think Armand would know my name, keeping in mind I've been here my whole life? Maybe next time you can go in my place. He might not even realize it's a different person. Alchemist, provisioner. Which were you again? Yes, I think I'm doing those noises right. You'll get us in trouble. I've been doing this for years. Alright, something real again. Well, this is an odd first project. I feel like someone's having a laugh at my expense. Why? Were you asked to create the Philosopher's Stone? Close, actually. One more guess. Transform lead into gold? Yes. Apparently there's an old Van Tassen lead mine and wouldn't it be better if it produced gold instead? Armand suggested it, so casually. Sounds wonderful. Time to put your university degree to the test. So the glyph of projection consumes an atom of quicksilver and promotes an atom of metal to its next highest form. By doing this repeatedly, even lead, the basest metal, can be transmuted into the finest gold. Okay. So we've got elemental gold. We have elemental lead. And okay, that's what we want to make, is elemental gold. And we start with lead and quicksilver. So I think we're going to want to get into using some of these arms that okay. Consume an atom quicksilver. Okay, so that's what we want to do for the interesting. Okay. So we want to end with gold. We want to start with lead and quicksilver. We need this one. Now, this is the quicksilver, and this is where we place the element. So let's rotate that. Let's make an expensive one that does it really fast. So how fast, how many times do we need to combine something? That's what I'm looking for. So lead, once is tin, twice is iron, 3, 4, 5 is gold. So, okay, here's what I'm picturing. Oh, wait. Only one of each. Okay, so if I put is that what I want? Okay, so because what we're going to do, we're going to have one arm that simply starts here. Okay, so let's program that one. It is going to be grip, rotate Widdershins, drop. Or does it need to drop, or can I just stay there? Do I have a stay? Nice. So we're going to rotate it once, and then we want it to wait there for a period of time while oh, you know what? I'm programming the wrong one. Number 2 is going to do that and stay there. Number 1 is going to grip, release, grip, release. Does it need to release? This is the thing. I'm not 100% sure. Do I need to release? Okay, so let's try grip and rotate. And we need to do this 5 times.
So I should be able to just V, is that repeat? 1. So that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And in this time we need U. You can only put 1 in there, so we're going to wait until that point, and then now we're going to rotate one more time and release. Let's try that. Okay, so we do need to release it. So okay, so I can select everything that I want to move. And in here, I need the release. Apparently, okay, now I need to redo that. 1, 2, oh, that's right, because it takes 1 step longer. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, let's, oh, and then that means I need to drag this out. Okay. Oh, and then I should have a reset on this one after I release. Okay, let's try stepping through that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's gold. Oh, it works. That's cool. I think cycles were probably going to be lower than average. Huh. Cost were slightly above the peak. Interesting. Oh, this is cool. Return to menu. Let's see what else we got. Can you make lead into gold? Oh, you can just hear the sarcasm. I can scarcely believe it. Well, at least it's finished with now. Like asking a fish if it can swim. You're taking this remarkably poorly, Anataeus. I was expecting a challenge, that's all. Sounds like you want a chance to show off. I'm not sure I'd go that far. Oh my. So we have a bunch we can do in a row. Face powder. Have you seen Lady Van Tassen recently? A few days ago. Why? Do you notice how pale her face is? Oh, she's well known for her pallor. Why did someone ask you to do something about it? Armand himself did. It seems it's gotten worse lately. People are whispering about her health. That's unfortunate. The lady hasn't had an easy time of things. I'd hate to see her slandered on top of it all. Alright. Face powder. Well, that's an easy one. That's a salt and a... Okay. So we only have one... Okay, so if we put an arm... How would I want to do this? Okay, let's put an arm in here. And if it started here... What we could do, okay, so if we have a piston arm instead, and the piston arm grabs rotates this one. Okay, so we want a glyph of calcification. Okay, so here's what I'm thinking. Grabs that, swings to there, swings to there. We could do this all with one arm. Do we want to? It's not like we have a limit. Okay, so let's just think this through. So here's our product. We want, here's our starting whatever reagent. Oh, we could also use a track. Okay, so we need to have a calcification thingy. We also need to have something that bonds together. So we could have this one swing out, stop there, while another one grabs. All right. So we have one arm. Whoops. One arm that starts here. Oh, you know what? We're going to want to rotate that for the way I have it set up. No, we don't. We're an idiot. I'm an idiot. So this goes here, calcifies, combines it with this other one. Rotates once more. Ooh, we're going to run into trouble with a collision with this next arm. So what we do, we start that one there, and we put a piston arm on this one. No, we don't, because then it's going to calcify. Oh, I got to watch out for that calcifying thing. 1 second. So what if we change this around? This is where we end up. And this is where we combine. And we rotate it through. So this one's going to start. It's got 4 steps to go through. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, let's oh, that's not what I meant to do. Okay. So salt is all fine. You know what? Let's actually put this on the other side with an arm. No. Like this. And we want this. Oh, except I need to get it all the way over there. Okay. I think I'm making this a lot more complicated than I need to. I need to get it from here to here. Now, if I have a track, that goes from here. I need to go basically in this pattern. So if I have a piston arm here, that will start
in that position. Or start in that position. So it's going to swing. Okay, so number 2 is going to start. Okay, number 1 is going to start by grabbing. Rotate 1, rotate 2, rotate 3. We might have to have pauses in there. So 1 is going to grab, rotate 1, 2, 3, and then release. So this is what that looks like. 1, 2, 3, and then it releases. But by that time, we want it to be completely combined. So when number 1 grabs, we want number 2 to rotate once. So number 2 starts with 2 rotations. Clockwise. 1, 2. So now this is the way that looks. And then so we want it to grab at this point. Okay. So then we want to grab. So let's step through those. Now we could even, we don't even need a rotation. Look at this. No, we don't want it to turn into a salt. That's a problem. Okay, now we need number 1 to stop there and wait. While number 2, you know what, we don't need a track. Okay, so stop. Let's get rid of the track. Okay, and then, so here's the thing. 1, 2, it grabs. And when that grabs, now I need to shorten it. 1. So here is going to be a shorten, then a rotate, and then an extend 2, and then a drop. So let's stop. So here is shorten, rotate, extend 2, extend 2, drop. Now this and this need to, wait, select both. Okay, let's step through that. And now it grabs. Oh, and then this one I did let go. And now that one rotates. Now, I think for 1, okay, let's go. Now 1 just needs to keep rotating after that. 1, 2, 3. 2 needs to get back. I think, so while 1 is finishing, we can shorten 2 and rotate 3 more times. So release it and then shorten it 1 and then rotate 1, 2, 3. So that is probably quicker than resetting and going through all those things that it needs to do to reverse that. And then for number 1, it would simply need to rotate 3 more times. So 1, 2, 3. So let's try that. That's exactly what we need.
I'm sure there's a better way to do that. So cost, we're kind of right in the middle. There's a lot of people that did that a lot cheaper. Area, we just like blew. Oh, we did terrible for area. Cycles, 75. We're kind of in the middle. You know what? Good enough for now. Quite a superficial solution. Okay, this should help the lady's face look less pale, though it's quite a superficial solution. Who can really say what troubles a lady Phantasm? It's not for us to know. Have you ever heard her speak? She didn't say a word during the dinner I went to. I remember her speaking to me once or twice when I was a child. Odd. Just another one of the many Phantasm mysteries, I suppose. Pardon me. One gets used to them after a while. So there we did. We did water... no, we didn't. We did face powder. Waterproof sealant. Do you know much about ships, Concordia? Our merchant fleet delivers goods from overseas about once a month. Why? Captain Gelt told me to... You know what? I'm just going to read them. You can read them if you want. It goes faster. Enough of them are. Alright. Glyph of multi-bonding can create up to 3 bonds at once. Alright. So we need to create that. We've got 2 reagents. So, but I think we can only... Oh my... No, I thought for a second I could have a second starting one. But I cannot. So products, we can... That's where it needs to end. Okay. Let's try. So you could start there. So I'm picturing something that just has a nice small rotation. So we want an arm here that would start here. Okay, let's just move you out of the way for now. Now we want... I don't think we need something that fancy, but... If we have... Okay, so I can only rotate this. That's interesting. I cannot flip it. Okay, so that's good to know. Okay, so if I... okay, from that would be one rotation from those. So if I have this here, that's easy enough. Now I would need another arm. This is where we're... If we did an arm like this, how would that look? Because that's something we could utilize. So 2, we'd want it to grip, spin to... No, I don't think that's what we want to have there. Maybe 2 arms, though. Oh, I like that idea. So we have one here that is just going to rotate counterclockwise 6 steps. And then... No, we're not. We're just going to have to time stuff. So, and then we want a piston arm here that's going to So, step 1, we want 1 and 2 to grab. 1 and 2 to grab. And then we want 1 to rotate Widdershins. We want 2 to rotate Widdershins. We want 3 to rotate Widdershins. And then we want 2 to release. We want 3 to grab. We want 3 to extend. 3 to release. And then 1 to rotate once more. And then let's just try resetting all of them at that point. So what happens? Now ideally, let's just see what happens. We're going to tab. Oh, so what hit? Atoms collided. Oh. Huh. Atoms collided. Damn it. Okay, so that's fine. Bollocks. We have to change our whole design. So okay, so let's delete that, and that. We have to change the location of our atoms. Just this atom. What we could do is start this reagent over here and have this arm move from here to here to here, and have this reagent, this is going to go here to here to here. So we would want a piston here and a piston here, or not a piston, but a rotation. So here's the plan. We are going to, looks like we're going to go over an hour, but that's okay. We're just going to, okay, I just want to delete everything here right now for instructions. We're going to go over an hour. We'll finish this puzzle and then we'll kind of give our impressions after that. So number 1, we want to grab, and then we want to rotate clockwise twice, and then at some point rotate counterclockwise and release. So, and we'll place those once we got everything else in place. So now that's going to grab, it's not going to interfere with anything. So number 3 starts on this. Oh, you know what's going to be a problem? What's going to be a problem is these arms. This is going to collide with each other because there's no way this won't collide because it's boxed in. This can only extend. Well, that's not going to be enough unless we have it like this. And it extends, grabs, drops, goes back to. So I think then we start like this.
So we start with number 2 then, grabbing and rotating once, and then releasing. So this looks like that. And at this point, oh, okay, so Shift Tab does not do what I was hoping it would. So stop. I was hoping Shift Tab would step us backwards. So at the point this rotates, number 3 should be able to extend. So number 3, we're going to extend, grab, extend, drop, and then reset. I should be able to just use reset for that one, I think. Let's see what that looks like. Yeah, so it just brings it back twice. Okay. And then for number 2, I imagine we could just have it reset at the same time. And then for number 1, we need our, at this point, once this releases at the same time, I think I can rotate. I might have to bump it a step, but we'll try it. Rotate that way, release, reset. Okay, let's try stepping through it. Yeah. Oh, interesting. That did not collide. Okay, so it's just the action point of the arm, it looks like. So let's just hit play on this. Ha! So cost is a little bit expensive. Number of cycles was definitely on the low end, it looks like. And area, pretty average. Huh. Okay, well let's return to menu and stop there. Okay, we'll finish reading this. With the sealant ready, the fleet should be ready to sail again and bring back, well, whatever it brings. They're loaded with all kinds of things. Cloth, pottery, mineral ores, rare herbs, strange stones, sometimes even animals. Sounds like a good business. I'm not sure. Those contracts were drawn up centuries ago. I doubt even Armand knows the details. Well, and there we are stopping. That has been a full hour. And I gotta say, I am really liking this game. I like that there's no absolute right answer. There's different things that you can shoot for: area, cost, and cycles. You can kind of pick aims, and it looks like you can have multiple solutions at a time. So let's look at waterproof sealant, for example. We can do a new solution and try to focus on one other thing. So like the cost, bring the cost down so it's like one part that moves, and that would bring our cost way down. Or cycles, having more moving parts with less motion. Or area, having everything more compact, which for me is a struggle right now. My brain's not working with these sixth of an arc. That's taking me some time to adjust to, but I really like this idea, this kind of combination of alchemy and science, and you build these little machines, and there's no specific right answer necessarily. There's a better answer. You can brute force stuff. You can. I think it's something that's easy to pick up. It seems to be easy to pick up. The story, there's some good humor there. There's some I think some good writing. I don't know that the story is necessary to carry the whole game. I like the game just by itself without the story, I think. I'm really looking forward to seeing what else it has. But for now, it's definitely a game I'm going to keep playing. It's definitely a game that might take me away from Mario Maker a few times, but we'll see. But for now, definitely
a game I would recommend and encourage people to check out. It is from a couple years ago though, which is I think surprising to me that I didn't hear of it sooner than now. Like Opus Magnum. When was it released? December 7th, 2017. So like it's been out for 2.3 years, which is, for a game that kind of checks so many boxes for me, I'm surprised I hadn't heard of it before like a week ago. So right now, if anybody's interested, it is on Steam. If I'm able to, I'll see if I can put an affiliate link in. If not, search Steam for Opus Magnum and you will find it. But for now, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. If you want me to do other reviews or other like first hour of play on any game, I think that's something I might do in the future. But for now, we're going to end it here. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.